Hello all and welcome to episode 3 of the Singer Studio podcast. Today's episode is a request from somebody on the K Music Studios YouTube channel, and they wanted to know about the top tips for taking care of your voice. Now, there are many things that singers do to keep their voice in good shape while continuing to grow, rehearse, and practice. So today I just want to cover the top 3 tips. And we're not going to have any sponsorships for specific vocal care products. These are just things you can implement in your routine to keep your voice as healthy as possible. But really quickly, welcome to the Singer Studio podcast. We are a YouTube original podcast series branching off of the K Music Studios YouTube channel. My name is Kristen and I will be your host. Today, we are going to again be talking about ways to take care of your voice. If there's anything you think we are missing, let us know down below in the comment section. And as all YouTubers say, give this video a big thumbs up and click the subscribe button. Let's go ahead and jump right in with number 1, which will come as no surprise to anyone: staying hydrated. I get a lot of people in the comments on the YouTube channel and in my own live voice lessons that say, how do I take care of my voice? What do I do? What do I do? And I ask them right off the bat, how much water do you drink? And a lot of times they don't really know what to say. It's, I don't know. A little? A lot? Does soda count? What about coffee or juice? Staying hydrated is the number 1 way to take care of your voice. If you think about it, your voice is an extension of your body, right? Your voice is the only instrument that is personally attached to you and your body. Now, I know someone's going to come at me and be like, well, percussion with clapping and snapping, but those are not muscles. Those are parts of your joints. If you think about it as a singer, your voice is your instrument and it is the only one you get. If I have my ukulele, which is right behind me here in the studio, and I drop it, break it, treat it badly, I can go buy a new one. But if I treat my body badly, don't take care of my voice, I can't just go buy a new one. That is actually the number 1 thing I tell singers if I ever do a singing masterclass or a group lesson. I always reiterate in the warm-up that part of your warm-up, even before you start singing, is just staying hydrated. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you a certain number of ounces or glasses to drink a day. Here's my rule of thumb. The next time you use the bathroom, did you pee clear? Does it have a clear color, or are we working with another color that would probably show us that we're dehydrated? That is the number 1 indicator. Yes, you can sit here and say 8 glasses of water a day or half of your body weight in fluid ounces. But here's my question. Are you really going to keep up with those numbers and keep track every single day of your life on the number of glasses of water you drank or your ounces? If you're my husband, the answer is yes, because he has one of those smart water bottles that syncs to his phone and tells him how he's doing in terms of fluid ounces. I did that with him for a little bit and it became just too much, so I did not continue. But if you're peeing clear, you're in the clear. That is how I look at it. Take it for what it is, but staying hydrated is the number 1 way to help take care of your voice. Secondly, warming up and cooling down. Before and after singing, it's important to warm up your voice to prevent strain or injury, especially if you are, let's say, a classical singer who's doing pop music or belting or rock or jazz, something you are not specifically trained in. Warm up your voice. That will help prepare you. It'll also help you develop and improve your vocal technique. How are you breathing? How does your tone sound? These are things you're going to hear more by having a solid warm-up routine. And the cool down. The number of singers I hear that say, I don't need a cool down. My last song is my cool down. Taking a minute or 2 to take some deep breaths, do some scales, hum or lip buzz, whatever you want to do, I won't do it here in the microphone, are a great way not just to cool down your voice, but to help center your mind. You are no longer singing. You're moving on to doing something else. How did it go? What can you do better? What's something you didn't think you could do, but you just did it in that rehearsal? What's something you want to continue working on to improve next time? These are all things you can think about and reflect on with your cool down routine. Now, as I'm saying this, I'm actually realizing we don't have a cool down routine on the K Music Studios page. So I'm going to get my trusty little Post-it notes that I keep all over this office. So when I get an idea, I literally write it down in real time. We need a vocal cool down routine. How can I put it in the podcast without even having a video for it on the channel? We, of course, have over 160 warm-up videos. We have videos for wanting to improve your high notes, your low notes, your mid-range, singing high, singing low, riffs, chest voice, head voice, mix, a little bit of everything. But we're still working on growing. Cool down. Consider adding it, again, even if it is just a there, put some humming in that video. Just adding some hums, some deep breaths, if not just for your voice, but again, for your mind. And then the big one, I guess they're all big in my mind, resting your voice. Your voice, your vocal cords are a muscle. And just like people who lift, those athletes or people that can just stay motivated, athletes or people who can just stay motivated in the gym, I'm jealous of all of you. Your vocal cords need rest to recover. Avoid overusing your voice. I know a lot of singers have day jobs. The one that comes to mind was one of my day jobs. Back in the day, I was a classroom teacher. I was teaching kindergarten to 8th grade, and I also taught band and choir and general music and musical rehearsal, and I worked at a private school, so we did mass with a choir. You guys, to say I overused my voice is an understatement. I look back on what I did before the pandemic. I don't know how I had a voice left. I would wake up, go to school, I would warm up my voice to go do a mass service where I would lead the whole school at the piano with a microphone, like a whole little concert. And then I would go and teach. And I would teach kids all day long. And if it wasn't general music with kindergartners, it was first year band with 5th graders, where I gave them instruments and talked over them. I'm now realizing just how detrimental that may have been. And if I wasn't doing those 2 classes, I was leading choir. And then at the end of the school day, I would go to rehearsal and get those kids ready for a musical performance. And then once that was done, I would go home, eat dinner, shower, and go to a rehearsal of my own. I don't know how I did that looking back. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say the pandemic was a joyous ride and I'd do it all again, but one positive that came out of it for me personally, it gave me a forced stop. I had to stop. We went into quarantine. My show shut down. The school functions were all canceled. We had to stop and be still. And a couple things I noticed. My voice took time to heal. Now, I wasn't walking around sounding super hoarse and a big hot mess because I drank a lot of water. I was big into tea. I tried to get my rest in, like not just vocal rest, but sleeping, my REM cycle rest. But that forced break really was also a forced reflection or a time to reflect. What are you doing? Is this serving you? And the more important one, the one I could not face. Can you do this for the long haul? Do you see yourself doing this 5 years down the line? 10 years down the line? 20? My honest answer is absolutely not, but I was so dedicated to it. I thought, this was it. I'm using the skills I learned in college. I am proving to everybody I have a salary job. I own my property. I was more interested in proving myself to people who probably never even batted an eye towards me than I was at reflecting on, am I happy? Am I growing? Am I learning? What am I doing? And that is when I then decided, a whole topic for another day, I decided that I was going to start my exit plan to leave classroom teaching. But in that time that I was in quarantine, I rested my voice. I continued to drink water. I did at that time have a solid warm-up routine. I had just rehearsed and prepped an entire show, which we can talk about in a future episode. I'm thinking of having some castmates of a show that I was in that did get shut down during the pandemic. We can come in here, have a good chat, talk it out. It'll be great. But resting your voice, treating your voice like a muscle. Just like if I go lift weights, which I actually did yesterday, and yes, my body is sore, I'm not lifting weights today. I'm going to do a walk. I'm going to let my body rest. If there's a day where I am singing for a large portion of the day or talking, I'm going to budget in some time for vocal rest. Just sitting in quiet or having maybe some light music. I'm listening to a lot of jazz and lo-fi music with no lyrics lately. And then, of course, having a solid nighttime routine. Just recently, my friends wanted to have a game night on a Sunday night. And my husband and I had already had a very busy weekend. We had been out, we had gotten a lot of stuff done, we had seen people, we had been out around the town. I actually went and saw a show Saturday night, and I made the decision that I was going to rain check on my friends. It was fine, I told them well in advance. My husband still went, but I was very proud of myself because I made the choice. I said, hey, I just want a night where by 7 o'clock, we've had dinner. I've done my workout, I've showered, I've meal prepped, I've grocery shopped, I've set my week's intentions, and now I'm just gonna lay in the bed. I'm just gonna be. Took my water. I took probably a laptop. I don't remember everything I took now, but I reviewed some music. I did not sing it, but I reviewed some music. I rested, I relaxed, and I woke up early Monday morning before my alarm. And I attribute that to the fact that I took that time and have developed a solid nighttime routine. It includes skincare. It does include some stretching because I'm not 25 years old anymore. I can't just wake up, jump out of bed, and never stretch my body. I've got to do that now. It includes writing out intentions for the next day so my mind doesn't wander and panic. And it's just focused on relaxing, unwinding, and trying to fall into a gentle, deep sleep. Nights that I'm out super late, drinking with friends, whatever it may be, if I come home and it's already 1 a.m., I'm panicked. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to sleep well. It's going to be awful. And I don't get a good night's sleep. So now, having a good solid nighttime routine not only helps me in so many ways outside of singing, but voice-wise. I've given my voice more time to rest. I've given it also a good night's sleep. I wake up, I drink a glass of water before I touch the coffee. And then anytime I have in the day that I'm not teaching or recording this podcast or a YouTube video, I am resting. The times I am editing content are done with tea and silence. The times I'm doing things that don't involve me using my voice at all are silent, because that has helped me keep my voice. Now, there are other things you could absolutely incorporate. Today's podcast is brought to you by Skillshare. Whether you're looking to enhance your singing skills, improve your stage presence, or simply learn a new skill outside of music, Skillshare has the courses you need to take your creativity to the next level. Listeners of the podcast can get a free trial to all Skillshare has to offer by clicking the link down below. Skillshare is where I learned everything from graphic design, video editing, and of course, podcasting. Check out the thousands of classes available down below and learn something new today. Now, back to the podcast. Steaming, having cough drops available. There are various products that people like to have to keep their vocal health up. Those are fantastic. We're not here to downgrade or downtalk any of them. If you have any, let me know what they are down below in the comment section. But staying hydrated, pee clear, warming up and cooling down, resting your voice and your body. Those are the big ones, the staples, the ones you should focus on getting into solid routines with to help care for your voice. Are you somebody that if you get angry or anxious or upset, do you yell? Do you shout? Do you listen to music that you scream along with? Sometimes you have to take a minute and reflect and ask yourself, are those things serving you? And can you change them? That is my chat here today. Just wanted to talk to you guys based on the request of doing an episode talking about vocal care for singers. Now, a reminder, this entire podcast series is a YouTube original based off of our mother channel, K Music Studios. I am your host, Kristen. If you are looking for vocal warm-ups to incorporate into your routine, you've come to the right place. We have an entire YouTube channel with hundreds of pieces of content for all different kinds of voices and all different kinds of experience levels. Check them out. I'm sure we'll have some listed down below in the description box. Guys, have a great week, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.